I've got my camera. It looks like my phone camera is dirty. Sorry, let me fix that. Okay, that's better. All right. I don't want to be off center. Let me turn this. Okay, that's better. Okay, you guys cannot see me because I'm looking at my camera, but then I'm looking at my phone. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull my camera. Sorry, because this is gonna be edited out. But let's see. Maybe if I do this, it's a little bit better. Okay. Much better. Hello, Jasmine. How are you? I'm gonna have to like get all up in my phone in order to see my comments. Well, thank you. That is so kind. I'm gonna be talking about how to get into a top law school. I'm great. I'm doing great. I've never gone live on YouTube before, so this is new. This is new. Got my laptop here. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. Can you guys see let me try and fix this a little bit. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I always go live on TikTok, but then the other day I was live on TikTok and they were like, go live on YouTube. So I decided to do like a dual thing. So Jasmeet and whoever else is on here, I have my camera right here. Like, so if you see me looking this way, this might be the first live you've ever joined on YouTube. Me too. This is the first live I've done. Well, yeah, let's go with that. So I have my camera right here. You guys can't see it, but so if you see me looking here, it's because I'm looking at my camera. And you guys are right here. You're my phone right here. Yes, to the live stream. So we're gonna be, I don't know, I guess we're gonna be talking about how to get into a top law school. You guys should share this live with other people who are applying to law school. I should have posted on Instagram that I was going live, but now I can't do it because I'm not gonna exit the live. But anyway, so we're gonna be talking about how to get into a top law school, and I'm gonna be recording the video at the same time. So yeah, we'll see. So let me start my camera. Guys. Okay. Guys, why isn't, okay. Okay, here we go. Got it. Camera's on. So, hello, guys. All right, let me start this so you guys, I can get the ball rolling. Okay, guys. So welcome to my YouTube channel. To those of you who are new, to those of you who are returning. I cannot see the chat to those of you who are watching live. I can't see the chat from sitting in my couch, but I will come back to the chat and take some questions from you guys once I'm done. But we're going to be talking about getting into a top law school. Okay. So, we're going to be covering 3 different phases that you should be thinking about when getting into a top law school. Is it weird that I'm like looking into the camera and not looking into my phone? Is that weird, guys, or does everything look like okay to you? Because I can't. Oopsie. Sorry. Okay. Is that okay, guys? I think that looks kind of weird. Sorry, because I'm trying to record the video at the same time while I do this. Maybe I'll just put my phone behind my camera, guys. I'm moving you all over the place. Okay. You can see my camera in it, but I think that's okay. Can you guys, is that okay? Does that work for you guys? I can't see the chat, but I'll come back to the chat once I'm done. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you and welcome. Welcome from Italy and Cambodia and where you guys are from. Okay, guys. So we're talking about getting into a top law school. So there are 3 main phases that I walk my clients through to help them get into a top law school. And I'm going to be going over the most important pieces of what that involves for you to get into a top law school. Okay. So jumping right in. The very first phase, and I'm going to be looking now because I got my handy dandy laptop here. So the very first phase, of course, involves your application prep, your application goals, and your application story. So what does this look like? For a lot of you guys, and what a lot of people are missing, is the fact that your application strengths and weaknesses and everything that you need to bring together to make a holistic application is just completely missing. What a lot of people are doing in the application cycle is jumping right in to their writing. It's jumping right into, oh my gosh, like I need to write my personal statement, I need to write my optional statement, my diversity statement, my resume, right? All these different things, and they haven't even taken a second to create a proper strategy, to create a proper process, to really think and decide like, okay, what is my holistic story going to look like, and how am I going to showcase my strength to admissions counselors? So what I'm going to be doing for you guys today, and I'll take questions at the end, is showing you guys how you need to be taking this process and really bringing it together so that you're increasing the overall strength of your application, right? So first and foremost, when you guys are thinking about your application strengths and your application weaknesses, number one, where are you weak? And this is so important, right? So are you struggling with your LSAT? Do you have a low GPA? Do you not have any like strong recommenders? Are you not close with anyone who can write you a strong letter of recommendation? Do you not have people who are going to be able to guide you through the application process? Are you going to be the first attorney in your family, right? So really sitting down and taking the time to identify these weaknesses and then start thinking about how can I mitigate them? How can I make a stronger law school application for myself, right? So let's say, for example, you're talking about you have a low GPA. What are you going to do to mitigate that low GPA? Are you going to be able to find someone to help you mitigate that low GPA and say, hey, no, this person, Sephora, even though she has a low GPA, her application process is actually, her application or her ability to perform as a student is actually really strong, right? Who is that going to come from? Maybe your weakness is you got a bunch of tickets, and so you've got to write a character and fitness addendum, right? And so where else in your application can you make up for that, right? So this application prep process involves you going through that process for every single step, right? For everything you have to do. And trust me, it is possible, because I have clients with 2.2s in at top law schools. I have clients with 2.4s in at top law schools. I have clients with 3.1s, 3.3s, 2.9s, 2.8s, like I could go on, right? And so a lot of people think like this low GPA is going to be the reason they don't get into top law schools, but that's just simply not the case at all, right? Because there's so many different ways to overcome your weaknesses or to show admissions counselors that this weakness is really not the end all be all, and you have a lot more to you when it comes to your law school application process. So that's this first process that's the first step in this application prep process, is taking the time to figure that out and saying to yourself, what does this look like, and how am I going to fill in the blanks for my law school application, right? So the next thing that you're going to want to do after you got that done is actually take the time to think about, okay, now what law schools do I want to apply to? So again, this is before you're jumping into that writing process, before you're jumping into saying like, oh, I'm just going to apply to a school in California because I love the weather. Or I'm just going to apply to a school in I don't know, Minnesota because I love cows. I don't know if there are cows in Minnesota. But anyway, right, the point is actually taking the time to think and decide what law schools you want to apply to based on your goals. And only once you have an idea of what those goals are, can you actually make an informed decision on what schools to put onto your application list. And when you're making that informed decision of what schools to put onto your application list, then you need to further subdivide those schools, right? Because you can't apply to all reach schools, but you also don't want to apply to all safeties. You also don't want to apply to all intermediate schools. You need to have that combination of different schools that can get you to your goals. And so you want to make sure that this is a well thought out and well researched list. It doesn't happen overnight. You're not just throwing random schools onto your list without actually doing the proper research and making sure that the list is giving you that realistic chance of landing your post-law school goal, right? And so, of course, that first step before is researching the schools and figuring out, hey, what is the likelihood of me getting my goal once I get into this school. Because what a lot of people don't realize, and what a lot of people end up doing, I tell my clients all the time, like, why is this school on your list? Because you told me this was your goal and you have a 0% or 1%, I should say 1 and not 0, a 1% chance of landing your goal from this law school. So why is it on your list? And then they'll tell me something that just completely doesn't matter, or they'll say, oh, I don't know. Or in another case, one of my clients put a school on her list and I was like, why is this school on your list? This school has a 30% employment rate. 30% employment rate, which means you have a 30% chance of landing a job coming out of this law school. Why is it on your list, right? And so it's these types of things, right? So once you've identified those strengths and weaknesses, then you're identifying, okay, based on, well, I guess then you're identifying your goals, and then you're actually identifying the law school list. And only once you have that in place, then should you move into actually what comes next, which is thinking about, every, the holistic pieces of your application. So that's your transcript, your recommenders, the CAS report, the academic summary report. And this is a step that so many people miss. And even now in September, as I'm doing this with my clients, it's like we're taking a step back to make sure it gets done correctly, because either they didn't choose the right recommenders, or they didn't base their recommenders based on their strengths and weaknesses, or they don't have recommenders who are actually going to help them move the needle in their law school application process, which is what you want, right? And that's why those first steps, that's why they come first, is because you want to make sure that everything else that falls into line with this overall application, so that you are submitting an application that's going to make you out to be, and not out to be, but because you are and you want to be a strong law school applicant. Same thing with your transcripts, right? Getting every single transcript sent to LSAC so that you can look at your academic summary report and dispute any differences or dispute any changes, or like say, is this right, is this wrong? I cannot tell you how many clients of mine I have templates in my Grades Application Accelerator community who I've told them to go use this template and go to their undergrad and see about getting these grades removed or grades changed, because they told me this shouldn't be, or this isn't the case, or this is wrong. And they were successful. 3 clients at the time of this recording have successfully gotten their undergrads to change their grades, which increase their overall LSAC GPA, right? So all these things that sometimes is going to take time to do is a part of that application prep process that you really want to be doing, because of course a higher GPA is improving your chance of getting into a top law school. A stronger application is improving your chance of getting into a top law school. So doing all of those things on the front end so that you can increase your chances on the back end is only going to help you in the long run. So only once you've done all those things, and of course I've really summarized it. It's something that usually happens within a 1 to 3 month time frame, and this is why I suggest really starting early. And actually on that note, if you are seeing this video, then we actually have a How Law School Can Change Your Life masterclass, where I'm going to be giving you the exact step-by-step process to getting into a top law school, the exact step-by-step process on what you should be doing, when you should be doing it, and how you should be doing it. So the masterclass is for people applying for fall 2025 or fall 2026. So if you haven't grabbed your ticket, then it's going to be down below. It's toppingthecurve.com/masterclass. The tickets are $35. The masterclass is Monday, September 30th and Tuesday, October 1st. And again, I'm going to be giving you that step-by-step process, because what I'm giving you now is the overview. The masterclass will go into deep detail on exactly what it is you need to be doing and how you want to do it to make yourself a priority, so you could be a part of the few in the law school admissions process, right? Okay, so once you've done those things and then you have those things set in place, next you're actually moving into understanding what the goal is, right? And number one, it's law school. You're showcasing that you're going to be a good student. You want to show the admissions counselors that you're a good bet, right? So if they're letting you into their law school, then they are making an investment in you. They're betting on you. They think that you're a good person to admit, and you want to show them that you are. The next thing is showcasing that you're a good student. Obviously, law school is school. You need to show them that you're going to be a good student. Law schools don't want to admit people who they think are just going to fail, right? So you want to be someone who's not going to fail, or at least show them that you are not going to be one of those people. And then finally, in your application, you also want to, or in your application process, I should say, you actually want to build relationships and make connections, because you can think of it as if you're going out for a job, or just think of it as if you're making new friends, right? How do you get the job? Why do you like your friends? Why do you and your friends hit it off? It's because you guys have a relationship. It's because you guys have a connection. And so if you can do that with the admissions counselors, every incremental advance along those lines is going to help you get into top law schools. Only after you've done all these things and understood all these things, then you move into your application writing, okay? Then you move into your law school application story. And here's when you're actually saying to yourself, okay, what do I want to get across to the admissions counselors? How am I showing admissions counselors that I am a good bet, that I'm a good person to let into their law school? What is my holistic application story, right? And so here you want to make sure that you go through a brainstorming process, okay? That's so important. You want to make sure you go through a brainstorming process, because most people, like I said, they'll just jump right into the writing, and that kind of just that's the wrong way. You're going to end up writing about the wrong things, or your application is just going to kind of be like, if you took a bag of sunflower seeds and then dipped your hand in it, and you have these sunflower seeds in your hand, and you just throw them up in the air, and then the 3 that you catch, that's your application, right? So if you just jump right in and start writing, that's kind of what it's going to be like. Your application is going to seem really scattered and really out of place, versus if you actually take the time to brainstorm and say, okay, this is going to be my personal statement topic because it shows this, and this is why I want to get into law school, and this is what they're going to get from my personal statement. My diversity statement is going to talk about this because it shows this, and it shows them why I'm a good bet to get into their law school. This is what I'm going to put in the optional statement because it shows this. These are the stories, these are the experiences that are going on my resume because this is the story that it tells. If I have to write an addendum, this is what I'm going to put in here. So you're actually taking the time to sit down and think about how your application comes together and what the holistic story is that you're relaying to these admissions counselors. And that's so important, because the people who can submit and show admissions counselors that they really put time and effort and thought into their application are going to do a lot better in the process than those who don't. And so I'll give you a concrete example. Just today's Saturday, so on Wednesday, I had a coaching call in my community, and one of the members literally came to me and was like, Sephora, you were so right. And he was like, I know you're right, and I trust you 100%, but I just got back from a meeting with the T14 admissions counselors, and I used one of the templates you told me to use, and he literally told me that at blank T14 Law School really cares about what you write in your materials. They really care about the individual. They really care about who they're admitting, and they're getting that information from your essays. And he was almost like, duh. And I'm just laughing, and he was telling me this, but he was so excited, and I was too, because it's so true. Law schools care about who they are admitting. And if you want them to care about you, you need to show them why they should in your application materials. And I say this all the time, especially if you're aiming for top law schools when the competition is fierce and schools have thousands of applications to look at, to read, to decide from, to pick who they're going to let in and who's not going to get in, then yeah, it's going to matter. Of course it's going to matter, because they have their pick of the litter, essentially, because of how many applications they're getting in. And that's why this brainstorming process, this actual process of deciding, okay, what am I putting in my story? That's why it's so important. That's why you have to be really meticulous with the information you're putting in your application. Okay, so once you've done all of that, then you need to actually take a step back and look at, okay, how does everything fit together? This is like the final look through, and I do this with all of my clients to make sure that everything looks good, that everything fits together exceptionally well. And then only after that, it's like, you're just getting started, right? You're just getting started. So after that, you actually, from there, you move into optimizing your LSAC account. You move into CAS, that's CAS, and you move into CRS, which is the Credential Assembly Service. That's when you move into adding or updating your law school list based on everything that you just did and all the previous information that I just gave you, right? And then from there, like literally only there, and by now you're probably 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months in, then that's ideally when you're looking at supplemental essays. So yes, schools will have supplemental essays once you log into your LSAC account. That's when you're signing up for networking events. That's when you're doing all of the, that's what I like to call the more. That's when you're doing the more, the scholarship pieces, all that extra stuff with your application process. And this is why I say, notice how you're just getting to this piece at about month 5, 6, and for some people even 7, right? And that's why I say, like, at a minimum 3 months to get your applications done, because it does take time to get all of this done. And it's definitely not too late. Like I said, if you're fall 2025 and if you're fall 2026, you definitely should have been starting in August, but for sure starting now. So then after you're getting in, that's when you're doing all that extra stuff. This is what I have my clients doing now, is getting those meetings with admissions. It's submitting those templates, submitting those questions, it's doing the one pager, it's doing all that extra, the supplemental essays, the scholarship essays, all that good stuff, because every incremental point, advance, jump counts. And this is how I treated like landing my federal clerkships. Do you think someone was coming to me and saying, well, Sephora, I don't know if you're gonna do that, if you wanna do this, because it only might make a small difference. And I'm like, nope, give it to me. I'm doing it, right? And it's the same way that you should treat your application process, because even if it's a small difference, if it's something that you really want, getting into a top law school, landing the federal clerkship, landing the big law job, you're going to do everything you can that's going to move you closer to that goal, right? And so that's how you want to think about essentially this entire law school application process, especially with getting into top law schools. I didn't get into the nitty gritty because I have a video up already on how to get into a top law school, which gets a little bit more into the nitty gritty. But like I said, I'm going to give you the step-by-step process in an upcoming masterclass. So if you haven't already, that information I will put below. So yeah. Okay. Guys, whew. It's really, really hot. It is really hot. I'm gonna turn down my AC. Okay, I'm gonna leave you guys right there while I turn down this AC. Okay, I turned down the AC. Your GPA is high. You don't have anyone to write a letter. That's so funny. Okay. Woo, I should go live on the tickety talk. Because I should share all that information with the TikTok folks. Hello from India. But yeah, guys, so thanks for watching. Can I join my own live from my computer? That would be cool. Let's see. Were you guys saying anything interesting here? Hi from Ireland, from Poland. Hello. Hello from Germany. Hello. India. Wow, all over the place. That's cool. Hello from India. So I had my video up the same time that I was on this live. But anyway, so I'm about to go live on TikTok and do the exact same thing, but I won't be recording the video. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.